Shalom. Yah Bashim Shabakatam to my brothers. Yah Shamalatan Bashim Yah Shai to all my sisters. Hey, this is Officer of 1,000 Zaahb bringing you the first of many Tonik talk. You know what I'm saying? And this series of videos is going to open your eyes. You're going to get unplugged from the matrix. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be too long-winded, but this is what I got to say. Like, share, subscribe if you learn anything from the videos, you know what I'm saying? And also, don't forget to click that notification bell. That will allow you to get a notification every time we put out new videos. All right? This is first episode of Tonik Talk. I have my brother with me, you know what I'm saying? And I would like him to introduce himself, you know what I mean? And you know, I can't say anything else. Let my brother introduce himself. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother.
Shalom, shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Brakatah to all the brother Brakathum. Yahweh Shemalatah Bashim Yahweh Shah to all the sisters out there. I'm priest and officer of 1,000, Officer Zayan Yalla. Checking in, man, to Tonik, man. You know what I'm saying? To my brother, man. And I think that this thing that we're creating is going to be one of those monumental pillars for people to really check in and see that mindset of what we supposed to have in this empire right now.
That's right.
Yes, mm-hmm.
Khan, Most High in Christ. And I mean, is there any other thing that you would like to say, Baba Kusha?
For the most part, I mean, also, man, I'm also have a podcast called First Things First, and it's jumping. You know, I do the, you know, I have I've been fortunate enough to be in have a degree in psychology, and I spent like the last 5 years, you know what I'm saying, learning the psyche of human nature, but it's been perfected in the ISUPK in how things around the world affect us as a nation of people, being in the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right. Yes, Most High in Christ. And where can we find that podcast, basically? Like
that podcast right now, if you go on the First Things First, and it's on Anchor. You can go to anchor.com and look it up, you know what I'm saying, First Things First. Or you can go to Amazon. I'm also sponsored on Amazon as well. So you get a chance to look at it, you know what I'm saying, just Google it. It should come up somewhere in there.
Damn right. And for the most part, you know what I'm saying, we've been doing a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? All the UPK brothers, we've been doing a lot of work. And one of the things that I recognize is all people, you know what I'm saying, in the world don't recognize us as people doing work. Meaning, for example, when we at camp, oh, go get a job and blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But stuff like this, your podcast, you know what I'm saying, The Grill, you know what I'm saying, Cross the Line Radio and all these other platforms and radio shows are significant in the development of Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? And right. we don't get the credit for it, but it's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we got to keep doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I wanted to touch on a topic that, you know, I mean, a lot of brothers and sisters struggle with, you know, and it's relationships. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to relationships, you know, in the Black community, what is your take on like how the Black woman is being treated by the Black man and how the Black man is being treated by the Black woman? What do you think are some of the things or reasons why that is so?
It's a very touchy subject, but I also know it's needed. A lot of times we don't understand. A lot of us deal with our relationships the same way our oppressor and the things we've been through in life, you know what I'm saying, they reflect in our relationships. So we tend to hold things and carry them our entire life, and they are a direct mirror as to how we live our lives in our relationships.
Not to cut you off, but basically what you're saying is based on certain traumatic events that happen in our life, we carry that baggage, right? And as a result of carrying that baggage and not getting over it, like for example, a brother or sister being molested or whatever the case is, we use that as a premise not to trust or deal with the relationship that we're in as something new, but carrying over, you know what I'm saying, all the burdens of our previous life, you know what I'm saying, into that relationship.
And not only that, to add to that, a lot of us do it subconsciously. It's like it's not on the surface level. You know what I'm saying? You will treat your partner or the person you're in a relationship with like ownership. You know what I'm saying? To the
Right.
point where you don't understand where it comes from, and we wear that as a nation of people. And the responsibility itself, we tend to blame ourselves. You know, it's more or less like, I don't know. We've in this society, we've always been taught to blame the victim for everything that we go through.
Right.
Like we're taught to like blame yourself for your shortcomings.
Right.
And it's a trap. It's a very it's very detrimental to your mental health and your physical health, because it's a trap. You know, and that's not how real life really is. Once you take off all the glitter and the glam and the gold and the shiny things off of it. You know.
Right.
Yep.
And you said it's a trap. Now, like for some people who kind of, I don't want to say they slow, but you know, some people take a little more explanation to be able to understand certain things. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand what you mean, but when you say a trap, what would you tell a black woman or a black man in a relationship that has baggage from previous relationship or previous experience in life? And you making that statement that by having that is a trap for them, what would you say to them?
The baggage that you have, right? Until you're able to deal with it, until you're strong enough to deal with it, you know what I'm saying, going forward, you will always be looking for the answers that you never got.
Right.
Or the answers that no one ever explained anything to you. Meaning this, like the trap would be, you're looking for answers to get out of a certain situations that does not have anything to do with you in your life right now.
Right.
A lot of things we reflect or deflect or run away from things that we should deal with because we don't know how to get out of the trap. A lot of time the truth allows us to get outside of ourselves to see this a trap. But the pain about it is we have to look at ourselves for that same purpose too. You can't have one without the other. You have to look at yourself and say, you know what? I've been through this. I've been through this. And because I'm doing that, this is what I'm carrying into my relationships. And my sisters out there, that a lot of us, you know, we always like the father not at home syndrome, meaning this. You don't really have, a lot of us deal with those situations, and we don't have that father that may have told us that's a bad idea, baby. You know what I'm saying? That thing that would say like, hey, look, I understand what you're going through, but that's really a bad idea. Right. And so they tend to look for the first sign or the first person that gives them some kind of guidance. And depending on where they're at in life, that could be a positive person or it could be a very detrimental person to their growth, you know?
Right. And that's powerful because, you know, a lot of our sisters, especially, you know what I'm saying, when I have conversations with random people, you know, they'll be like, oh, you know what, I don't trust men ain't shit because of XYZ and blah, 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 blah. And not realizing that they need to do some self-retrospection, self-examination, and fix whatever it is that they need to fix within themselves so that they can move forward with whatever relationship that they're in.
Man, to really fix yourself, you have to have a lot of courage. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to really look at yourself and say, I was molested, you know, and we talk about it all the time. How many people that are actually molested as children and go into alternative lifestyles, or they end up hating that person that resembles the person or the thing that they went through. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like, a lot of women who go into a lesbian lifestyle, lesbianism, really, they resent men. You know what I'm saying? They in their mind, they block out all men and see them all the same, you know?
Right.
But until they really be like, you know, we teach all the time, until you receive real justice, you carry that burden, you know? That's
heavy because, you know, if you as an, not you, but an individual, male or female in our communities, muster that courage and say, you know what, I was molested or I was abused in my relationship. You know what? I'm going to do some retrospection. I'm going to figure out what I did to cause my spouse to beat me or cause my uncle to do this or do that. And guess what? I'm never gonna allow that to happen to someone else. Or I'm gonna tailor my behavior in such a way that when I do get a husband or a wife, I am gonna behave a certain way that they are not gonna put their hands on me, or I'm not gonna put my hands on them, or whatever the case may be. And that's very heavy. So how do you think that, you know what I'm saying, or people, you know what I mean, or brothers and sisters can muster that courage, you know what I'm saying, and stand up for what they know to be right, and not hide behind the fact that I was molested, so I'm gonna be a lesbian, you know what I mean,
I think
or
a lot of
homosexual.
times, just like you just said, man, brother, real talk is don't blame yourself. You know, a lot of times, you know, we blame ourselves for the traumatic experiences that we deal with as a nation of people, no matter what it is. We tend to blame ourselves until we realize that I'm not the messed up one. The one that did it to me is the one that's jacked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The one who didn't see the value in me is, you know what I'm saying, was the one who destroyed, was trying to destroy my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality that we must accept, take on, you know what I'm saying, to take on and really attack it, because once you play that role of blaming yourself, a lot of times that can hunt you for your entire life. And just like you said, like a lot of our sisters take on the mentality of I'll never be hurt again. If I dress like a man or a young tomboy, no man would ever look at me sexually again.
Right.
If I take my breasts down, if I cut them off, or either I lessen my appearance, maybe no man will see me as a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that in itself is we're blaming our people. We blame ourselves, and the victims that go through things like that, they blame themselves, and because they blame themselves, it hurts their professional relationships and their whatever relationship that they have in real life as well.
And that's Tuada, because even with all of that, it affects, you know what I'm saying, by blaming yourself, it affects your ability to communicate with your spouse. So communication in you know what I mean, or relationships in the black community is one of the things that is lacking utmost, you know what I'm saying? Where it is so easy to say, hey babe, did you cook? I'm on my way home. No, I just got to the house. So, you know what I mean? Well, don't worry about cooking because you just got to the house. I'm going to pick up something. As opposed to coming home and not communicating and there's nothing to eat and the brother tired from working 12 hours or the sister and you all up in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So communication is affected. Can you...
Effective communication. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us deal with dysfunctional relationships because the communication is so minute. You know what I'm saying? It's so small, man, but it's detrimental to the very growth of having that stability in your household.
Right. And again, you know what I'm saying, it all has to do with the strength that the brother or the sister has to own up to the fact that it's not my fault what happened to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try my best to do X, Y, and Z, but what happened to me is not my fault.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other things that you think affecting, I mean, outside of that? You know, I mean, communication is affected, you know, the fact that we blame ourselves for the baggage that we carry. Well, what are some of the other things that you think that, you know, I mean, affects or relationships in the black community?
I think that society in itself affects relationships. Meaning this, like expectations of what we're supposed to be to each other is really societal, is based on what society deems right or wrong. You know, there's no structure outside of what society is telling you is acceptable in a relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that in itself, those expectations are not, they are a false sense of security when we talk about today's society. You know, those expectations are a false sense of security. Meaning this, like we place expectations on each other and our relationships, and it's not real. Everybody dream to have this guy that's 6'3" and you know what I'm saying, have the the 6-figure job and the Bentley Rolls Royce, and for real talk, that's not that's not where we're at right now in life. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about Black people in America, we don't have the wealth to maintain that lifestyle across the board. You know, so you will see some people that stand out other than most, but as a group of people, that's not who we are. That's not something that we should be trying to look to accomplish or sustain based on what society says is right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So our thing is deal with the person that you deal with, and do away with all those expectations that society says that we're supposed to do or not supposed to do, you know? And that's what it is. Expectations are a false sense of security. That's all.
So what would you say to a sister that says, all right, you know what? I've been through so many different relationships. I've been this and that and X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like a man in my life, pause, you know, that would, yeah, Salakia,
Right.
you know what I mean? That would take care of me, that would love me. And unless I see that in that person, I'm not going to end up in a relationship. When a woman says that, what do you say to her? Do you tell her that's a false sense of expectation?
Woo! What she really saying is, you not my daddy, and you can't tell me what the hell to do. That was saying. She got her walls up. She got the blocker up already. What she's saying is, you ain't my dad, and you can't tell me what to do. But with that, man, I think every sister, man, I think it's important that she find value in herself.
Right.
Finding value in yourself is like I would just say the foundational tool to a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for sisters out there, a lot of them don't understand the value that they have. So a lot of times they create the value in a man's head based off what we can give them. You know what I'm saying? Like, a brother sees the value in sister in the thing, like, first thing we always do, hey, look, let's go out and eat. And we take a sister out to eat, and we looking at how she maybe talk to the waitress. You know what I'm saying? Does she allow me to order my food first, or should I allow her to order her food first? Those things, like, depending on that and depending how the sister dress, you could tell a lot about the sister by how she dress, how she talks to you. You know what I'm saying? How she treats her friends, how her friends treat her. And I think a lot of that, you know, when you're dealing with a sister like that, the goal first is to make sure that the sister actually values herself when talking to a sister. Because if a sister does not value herself, you can start off on a good foot, and then she'll destroy you because she is destroyed.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you said something that was super, super, super heavy. Like, a brother going out and, you know what I mean, getting in contact with a sister and having conversation with a sister, right, and not paying attention to the sister. Woo. And just because of her looks, her haughty looks and all of that stuff, you know what I mean, he finds himself attractive, and then 6 months later they're in a relationships, and then 2 months after that, which is 8 months, they done because you know, you didn't pay attention to the fine details like what you just outlined. Right. You know what I mean? You go to the restaurant, see if she will say, hey, find out I'm with him, so find out what he wants first.
Well, but hold on. I gotta add this. What you said is real. But let me show you something else too. Sisters will do that. They'll dress provocative. They'll talk real nice and all that. You know, and a lot of them be really covering up who they really are on the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's another thing you got to do nowadays, man. You have to have a lot of patience because of the mindset that we've adopted inside of this earth right now. You know what I'm saying? So sisters hide themselves and brothers hide themselves as well, man. So I think, I don't know. When it comes to that, that's a very that's a very touchy subject, because, you know what I'm saying, you opening up that door, you know, you may not see it. You may not want to see that person that's sitting at the dinner table with you. You know what? just bring me the check. Let's get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you know, I think we've all been taught to place expectations on everybody that we come in contact with.
Right.
Everyone, everybody that we come in contact with, we've all been taught to place expectations on it. And I think sisters, because once they valuable man or the provider that they think he could be, guess what they do? They block out all the things that he can't be first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They only see the things that he could be. And guess what? Women do just the opposite. You know what I'm saying? They block out all the things about themselves, and then they sell us on what we want to hear and what they can be to us. And that's not the truth. You like you said, 8 months down the road, you said, wait a minute, hold on now. You start seeing who they really are, and oh man, here it comes. And Lord, hey, Lord willing, there's no child involved.
Good night.
In that courtroom, you ask the question: Is this the same woman I was? Boy, it's a dirty game, my y'all.
Right. Now, as a result of all what we just said, how do we fix it? How do we fix or brothers and sisters when it comes to relationship? How do we fix it?
I knew you were gonna ask that. I knew that was coming. Say, well, you don't talk all that trash. Now you gotta talk about how we gonna fix it. I think our moral values have to be revamped. You know what I'm saying? Our moral values are, man, brother, they in a world of hurt right now. They have to be revamped.
Right.
So I think it starts there first. I think, I've heard this brothers always say, our women will stop being whores as soon as we stop liking whores,
Right. So
and it's like that.
If I may, real quick, not to cut you off. So what you're saying is, in order for our women to be fixed, our men have to stop liking the things that destroy our women, and vice versa.
Come. And we have to be willing to accept the responsibility as teachers nowadays, man. A lot of us, that responsibility, it'd be like, well, shit, man, I ain't know she was like that. It's like, so what now? You just walk away from the sister? We have the responsibility of if you're not gonna fix her, like, you know what I'm saying, then it's like it was not my problem. You know what I'm saying? I come across sisters all the time in the healthcare profession, and some of the mindset, I challenge all the thoughts that they come up with. I hear some of the strangest things. Go turn the light on for me, Isaiah. Go turn the light on. I hear some of the strangest things a lot of times, and I get a lot of the brothers, they won't stick around. But me, I'm gonna sit right there in the thick of it, y'all. And I'm gonna challenge all the BS, brother. If I think it's BS, I'm gonna challenge it. You know what I'm saying? So fixing it comes with us accepting responsibility and changing our moral values. We are our moral values are based on what society tells us what's right and wrong.
Right.
We have to get back to that structure. You know what I'm saying? The truth, if I may. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have to get to that truth and live by it. Don't just talk by it. We have to really live by it and teach by it too.
Right.
Yes.
And again, the only place that you can learn such type of, revamping of the mind and truth is in the UPK, you know what I mean?
ISUPK, brothers and sisters. That's it, man.
Yeah, ain't nowhere else. Yeah. Hey, Salaki, brother, listen, is there anything else you want to touch on real quick before we close? You know what I'm saying? It has been
listen. I think this is the first episode. This is the first one out the gate. It can only get better, y'all. Yeah, stay tuned. Y'all stick with us. You know what I'm saying? We, Lord willing, this continue to grow, because my brother, that mind tonic, man, is so real, and it's so we're gonna be focus driven on how to help our people, because I think it's needed. Not because I know it's needed, matter of fact. And I think y'all just stay tuned and stick with us, man. Come and like, subscribe, and y'all ride with us on this journey. Today we on Zoom. Tomorrow we may be on the first, you know what I'm saying, whatever. We may be on your national television.
Damn right.
Right now it's just like we just need your support, because we come for you guys, for the people, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
To become a people.
That's right. And to order for that, because my brother is right. We took an oath to serve our people. You know what I'm saying? And to wake our people up. And however we can do it, we'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And brother, man, Tawada, thank you so much. You know what I'm saying, for
a younger boy,
taking the time out. You know what I'm saying, to do this. You know what I mean. I hope all people appreciate. You know what I'm saying, the information that we disseminated. You know what I mean, during this podcast. You know what I mean. And again, don't forget, brothers and sisters, to check out. You know what I'm saying, Zayan Cuts. It's on Anchor. You know what I'm saying, podcast. That shit lit. You know what I'm saying. I've listened to almost everyone. I haven't listened to the 2 last ones yet because of things going on. But Salakia, I will make sure I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And we share this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We share this stuff. This is us now, based on all what we said, building our nation, building our communities. You know what I'm saying? Again, to Wada, brother, Officer Zayan, you know what I'm saying? This has been the first episode of Mind Tonik Talk with Officer Zaahb and Officer Zayan Ya'ala. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Hit that notification bell. Again, if you don't hit it, you won't get the notification and you won't see the new videos that we're putting out. Again, thank you for joining us. Shalom, Israel.